I'm Brian, and I am the Wholesome Cooking Dad. This is my sous chef, Matthew, and today we're going to be making pan-fried apples. They're not actually going to be fried, they're going to come out more baked than fried, but it's a nice, yummy dessert, and the kids love it. So, I hope you enjoy. Today we're going to be using our Always pan. This is a great pan because it can be used as a steamer, as a frying pan. It comes with a nice little notch right here because it comes with a bamboo spatula. And it's really cool because it also comes with a lid, which we're actually going to be using. And the lid has this handle that is heat resistant, so you're able to pick it up and not have to worry about burning your hand or making sure you got a rag. So, nice little heat resistant handle right there. It does act very much like a skillet, so this little bar right here does get hot, but the handle itself over there does not get hot. It gets a little warm down towards the actual frying pan itself, but from here back it stays nice and cool, so you don't have to worry about little kids touching it like that. So, with the spiced apples, we've got ourselves these few ingredients here. We got our peeled and sliced apples, organic. We've got ourselves grass-fed butter. We've got organic allspice, just some granulated sea salt, and an optional is it's Nova brand maple sugar. And the cool thing about this stuff is that it's a sugar, but it's made from maple syrup. So it's got the taste of maple syrup, but it's got the effects as if you're using granulated sugar. We're also going to use some homemade vanilla extract, and I will explain that in another video. It's very easy. You just need organic vodka and vanilla beans, which you can actually get obviously the organic vodka from a local store, and the vanilla beans you can get from Amazon, which is where we got them. So first thing is, we're going to have the pan heated up. I've got it on my stove, I got it on 3, so it's going to be a medium low. And then we're just going to take a nice dollop of this butter. This is very difficult to do with one hand. There we go. And we're just going to throw it in there and let it melt.
It's moving really fast.
It is moving really fast.
Now it's making it really buttery.
So after the butter melts, we're just going to make sure that the butter gets all over the pan. We're going to make sure we have enough butter in there to be able to coat the apples itself.
So difficult.
So that should be enough butter for the little bit of apples that we have. So Matthew, if you would like to help me, we can get these apples into the frying pan. Go for it, kiddo. Grab the apples and start sticking them in. Alright, now we don't want the pan too hot or else you're going to start frying the apples, and we don't exactly want them fried. We just want them slowly and lightly cooked. And then as soon as you get the apples in there, you're just going to want to swirl them around the pan, get them coated in butter. Now this is the fun little trick that you can do. It's all on the wrist, but you push forward and then pull back. And you can then toss them up a little bit. I like to do this with my veggies. It helps them to get completely coated in whatever seasonings you put in there, but we just want them coated in butter for now. So we're going to let those cook for a little bit. We're going to take the granulated salt, wrong side, and we're just going to drizzle a little bit. We don't want a lot because then the salt gets a little overpowering. the next thing we're going to add is our organic allspice. This brand is Frontier Co-op. We got it from a store up the road. It's non-GMO, as you can see. Non-GMO, not ETO, and non-irradiated, which is all good stuff. So, and you're just going to stick that in there until you've got as much as you want in the actual apples themselves. And again, swirl them around, toss them a bit. Make sure you get the seasoning on all the apples that you have in the pan. Now, one thing that I have figured out is that while they're cooking, the vanilla from the homemade vanilla extract will soak into the apples more if you put them in early, or if you put it in early, as opposed to later. It's just more of a coating of flavor. So personally, I like to add it towards the beginning so that way it actually absorbs into the apples themselves. Personally, you can do a tablespoon or so, but I like to just pour it in there. That's probably about half a tablespoon. But it really, again, when it comes to flavor, it's all dependent on how much you want it to add to the apples. Now, obviously, because this is an organic vodka with vanilla beans soaked in it, right now it is alcoholic, but as it cooks and as it steams, the alcohol itself will steam out and leave the vanilla flavoring behind. So again, we're gonna leave it on a medium-low, and we're going to add the lid and let those bake for a couple minutes. All right, so the apples have been quote-unquote baking, cooking with the lid on for 5 minutes now. And so we are going to stir them up, make sure that they're completely coated, and we're going to add a little bit of this maple sugar to give it a little bit of sweetness. And it also will caramelize a little bit as the apples themselves are baking. So while my little handy helper is mixing the apples all together, I'm going to put in some of this maple sugar onto the apples. All right. So you're just going to keep stirring at this point. Make sure that maple sugar gets to the bottom and it's able to caramelize while also coating at the same time. Because when it mixes with the liquid butter, the melted butter itself, it will start to liquefy itself. The sugar itself will start to melt. And then it will caramelize. It'll start to get a little crispy on the edges and on the sides of the apples themselves. Keep stirring, bud. Now, one thing I forgot to say is that with the apples, I peeled them with a regular vegetable peeler. Just one of these little doodads. It came in a pack of 3. The brand is OXO. Or is it OXO?
It's OXO, I think. Most people say it that way anyway.
Yeah. And then, obviously, this is the way to go when you're slicing your apples. You get yourself an apple slicer. We got this one off of Amazon. And it just makes the job quicker rather than just using a knife.
That one's 304 grade stainless.
Yeah, this one's 304 grade stainless steel, so you're able to put it through the dishwasher and you don't have to worry about contaminants from the metal while you're washing it. You don't have to worry about anything as far as like coatings coming off and getting onto the food. So the best way to judge whether or not these apples are done is a good old-fashioned poke with a fork. So you just want to grab one and put it through. If you don't feel any resistance whatsoever, then you know the apples themselves are completely done, and you turn it off. This is a nice, quick, easy dessert to do. All right, you're good on mixing, bud. It's a nice, quick, easy dessert that you can do. A little sweet treat for you and the family. And the best way to dish it up
Apple. Pineapple.
Best way to dish it up, pour it on into a bowl.
I eat some of that.
And you're all done. And as the toddler just said, I want to eat some of that. All right, we have our 2 local critics that are going to try the baked apples. So, go ahead and try it.
They're yummy. Yummy.
Yummy. So, as the children have stated, it's very yummy. I only had 2 apples to work with, but when you have more apples to work with, you can make this dessert for the entire family, and it doesn't take long. It just takes a few minutes. A couple minutes of preparation and a few minutes of cooking. So, again, very yummy, very good, quick, easy dessert to make for the family. I hope you enjoyed this video and looking forward to the future.
Yeah.